you said it great. It's a business, right? And you got to be a businessman. And if you go into that country and you learn that people's language, it's just going to be better for your business. They're bad businessmen, and their management should be ashamed of itself. Like, I like hearing Chael talk about that stuff because he breaks it down pretty well, and he's pretty straightforward about it. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He's got a good podcast there. Dude,
I really enjoy his podcast, and he was awesome on Rogan, and the fact that he broke the news about what went down with John Jones. And then did you hear his response to John's people reaching out to him?
No.
Oh, he's got this other one. It's like, they're really short. They're only like 5-10 minutes. They're like kind of like quick little rants.
Yeah.
It's called, hold on one second. It's called Beyond the Fight.
Okay.
And they're, like I said, they're like 5-10 minutes, and his last one, or his second to last one, was about John's people reaching out to him about, like, how could you do this, blah, 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 and it's like, whoa, like, I didn't do shit, like, your guy's the guy that fucked up, like, you need to get your shit in order and realize and address the proper issues here, not what I'm talking about, like, so, yeah, I mean, dude can talk, and, it was cool how he broke down, like, basically how he just, became a heel and realized, that cutting promos like the WWE is what's going to get people into it. And I mean, if there was no Chael Sonnen, there would have never been a Conor McGregor.
No, and I think, like, the thing people don't realize is Chael is a student. I'm pretty sure he had some help with some people telling him how to kind of read the psychology of it all, but he understands it like no one in the business right now. Conor has the gift of gab, but I think Chael actually understood, and I'm not saying Conor doesn't, but Chael understood the whole thing and how it went. Like, you heard him talking about the fight with Vandalay. Like, no, this is how it's going to go. You got to let me be the bad guy. Like, the whole thing. Like, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it was a good podcast. I like that one. I felt like it was just kind of there was nothing special about that card other than the potential that it had, and the individuals that were on the card. But I mean,
hey, Brock Lesnar, man.
Yeah, you know what? But like, it wasn't like Chael said. He's not good. He just overwhelms people because of his size and his strength, and you know what? Like, if he can get in on you, take you down.
Then there's Mark Hunt. Like, how did Mark Hunt look in that fight? He had no wrestling ability at all, no jiu-jitsu ability at all. So maybe it's not. I understand that he's not a technical marvel, but he's a one of a kind, dude.
Yeah, but now his legacy is fucking tainted, and it's
tainted. Like, come on, you didn't think that dude was on shit?
No, dude. Like I said,
everyone knows that dude's on shit.
No, and that's like what I said on the last Long Run Project podcast. Was like, I'm not ever going to accuse any of these top level people of being on shit. I'm just going to assume that they are because, like the Diaz brothers said, fucking everyone's on steroids. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a surprise to me, and it's like, now that I'm thinking about it more and more, it's almost like, did they bring in Jeff Nowitzki and USADA knowing that they were going to sell the UFC and then just watch it fucking implode? Because like now you're going to see in MMA what you saw in cycling and what you've seen in track and field over the last decade, with like things just being ruined because they put out these results, and all these people that are using these substances. Is like, we've always known that these people have been on this shit, and it's like, now you're just kind of, I get what you're trying to do to clean this up, but it's been going on as long as sport competitions have been going on. People have been looking at ways to fucking, skirt the system or look for an edge. And like, you're going to tell me that a guy like Galen Rupp, who's wearing fucking aerodynamic tape on his body, isn't fucking using performance-enhancing substances? This dude looks like an asshole. He's wearing fucking KT tape all over his body, and it's made by Nike because it's supposed to be aerodynamic. It's not like a KT tape that's supposed to help, muscles or tendons or anything like that. It's specifically designed just to put on your body so you can be more aerodynamic.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to tell me that dude's fucking... And he's got... You know, he's been being treated for hyperthyroidism since he's been like 15 or 16, you know what I mean? And it's like all these people that work with Alberto Salazar have hyperthyroidism. Like, come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Like, everyone...
But my thing is, Uncle Jeff here, I can't pronounce his last name, so we're going to call him Uncle Jeff. Fuck that guy. That dude's a fucking, a faggot. And I'm not passionate. I don't, that has nothing in the gay. I'm sorry, I automatically regret saying that. But he is, dude. He's like, just, like, come on, dude. Like, that's your job. You're going to sleep at night doing that? Like, I have no respect for anyone who does that. Like, I'm sorry. We want to watch the freak shows. We want to watch the best of the best. Let them perform. Let them have the performance enhancers they need to perform to the best of their ability. If they want to fucking kill themselves, that's on them. That's on them. That's not on you. Like, our government is trying to keep people from harming themselves. If people are going to harm themselves because they're fucking people, it has nothing to do with rules. They're going to figure it out either way. I just think it's going to ruin the sport.
Well, it's like I said, it's definitely, you're going to see, like, now, you know, you saw it all along here or there, but it's going to be more prevalent where, you know, every show or every other show, there's just going to be people that are going to get popped because, like, you know, the tests are getting better and better, and, you know, like Victor Connie says, it's not a test to, you know, they're IQ tests more than anything. So, like, if you're, you know, I mean, there's always a chance out of competition testing that you're going to get caught doing something stupid. But if you get caught in competition, you know, like Victor Connie says, you're a dumbass because you did something wrong. It's like if you only have to worry about in competition testing, then you know that shouldn't be an issue.
Well, and like John Jones getting popped for estrogen blockers is like ridiculous. You didn't find whatever you're looking for, so you're going to pop them because...
But it's a banned substance.
But why, though?
Because there's only one reason why you're taking estrogen blockers.
Yeah, but, like, fucking who cares? Fuck these rules. They're dumb, dude. It's just a waste of money. This money would be better suited elsewhere.
Well, that may be the case, but the situation is what the situation is. So
yeah,
it's like...
It aggravates the shit out of me.
You're going to see that the UFC and mixed martial arts is going to like have a track record pretty similar to what you've seen in cycling and track and field. You know, these sports that have very strict testing procedures. You're going to see that this is going to come out because, you know, when you're getting into a cage and you're either going to beat someone's ass or someone's going to beat your ass, you're going to do everything in your power to make sure that you're at the, you know, your physical peak when you step into that octagon or that ring. So
yeah, and I understand rules are rules and law is law, but let's just, you know, debate or talk about the topic. Like, what do you think about the government trying to govern these things in sport?
Well, I mean, all the sports have governing bodies, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's going to continue that way until you have, you know, things like, you know, you look at like what John North did where he just wasn't happy with the fact that like USA weightlifting and these other people, like, they would get all up in arms because the dude would slam his bar down after he made a lift. So the dude was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to start my own federation and we're going to have our own competitions, you know. And I was listening to Lance Armstrong's podcast, and he kind of said the same thing, is like, you need to start other organizations so that you don't have to fall under these protocols and stuff. But it's like, you know, even you look at something like powerlifting or bodybuilding where they have separate divisions for, you know, clean and not clean, and you still have fucking dummies that are popping up in these clean competitions testing positive, and it's like, bro, you can go to the fucking steroid competition and do that. Why are you fucking doing steroids going into a clean competition?
Yeah, and I think another thing with the UFC, now that I just thought of it when we were talking about it, it's like they had to probably do a lot of this protocol because, remember, they were trying to get legal in freaking New York for all that time and still in all these other places. So they've with government officials and all that, they gotta dot everything and whatever, trying to get into all these places. So I think that's what might have hurt it. And what you said, I think it makes perfect sense that they saw the writing on the wall and they got paid and got out.
Yeah, but the other thing was too is that they were both popped for out of competition. Did they know about Brock's shit beforehand, like they knew about John's, and they decided to hold off until after because they would just be there? The cold card would have fucking the house, would have fucking exploded.
Now don't quote me on this, but I was listening to, I think it was like June 24th that test was.
Yeah, and Jones's was back in the beginning of June, I believe.
Yeah. So and the other thing with Jones is like, did they know about about Jones and bring Brock in because of that? And it was like they knew about Brock before the fight even happened. So shame on their whatever. Like, I don't know. Shame on them, right? The UFC, they let that happen.
Yeah, I mean, they could have definitely brought in someone else, but it goes back to that he continues to say that he reached out to Dana and they didn't call him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. It's just. Now,
this might hurt him at SummerSlam because they're under the New York Athletic Commission there, and when John Pollock, the reporter, reached out to New York Athletic Commission and asked how that was going to be dealt with the suspension, they didn't have an answer because they didn't know. So that might be something that might affect the WWE's business, but. As an avid professional wrestling fan, just so for all the non-wrestling fans, that match means absolutely nothing. There's no build-up behind it. It's just they put Randy Orton hasn't wrestled. They just put him in there, and two big names. So it's not really like the match they're surrounding the whole card around. It's kind of like a nothing match.
Yeah, but it's also two entirely different entities, and I don't even know how the WWE would even fall under an athletic commission because it's sports entertainment. It's not fucking.
Yeah, but it's something with their testing because they do testing too, or so. I don't know how it all works, man.
Well,
if any of you guys want to know more, go listen to Live Audio Wrestling with John Pollock. He went into detail about it, and he's got the MMA report, by the way. Shout out the podcast. Anyone who doesn't know, me and Richie are big on podcasts, and that's why we're kind of doing our own. But me and Richie have been listening to. Richie got me listening to Dance Department back in 2006, I think.
Oh, dude, that's such a bummer. I don't want to get off track here because we still got to talk about some other fights, but we'll have to do a podcast just to get into that. But yeah, that was one of the biggest bummers to me ever was the loss of the Dance Department on iTunes. And then I found it about a year ago they were posting them because they still do it, but they posted on YouTube, and then that got fucking taken down too. So I think you have to go to SoundCloud to find it. It's just such a pain in the ass now, and you can't download it on your phone. So such a good music podcast, and but anyway. What did you think about DC and Anderson Silva?
I thought neither of them really were competent on the ground. I think Anderson Silva had a really good position. He didn't know how to utilize it, and DC didn't know how to get out of it. It's some basic stuff, but when you do all that MMA stuff, you miss some of the basic shit. But yeah, it was what it was. DC got the W. It was nothing special though.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, did you have anything to say about I know Chael was pretty vocal about him not apologizing to the fans and not explaining why he did what he did. And I get that. You don't have any fucking explaining to do to anyone. How you fought or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're fighting one of the best stand-up fighters ever to step into the octagon and you're a fucking Olympian wrestler, yeah, I'm going to take this dude down, I'm going to slam him on his back, and I'm going to keep him there. Fucking, if he can't get up, then that's how the fight goes, It's same thing with people that hate on Ben Askren, that's his style, and until you can fucking figure it out and beat him, then oh well, that's how I fight, and I win. And that's what the sport is about. It's about